Haig needs a 2-putt bogey to win here on number 72 at the Rusty Putter in St. John. Ooh. He zips that one past the hole, and with that tapped in, another 3-putt puts Haig and Perry score through 72.
Another 3-putt.
Another 3-putt.
Was this the third? This is what, the third time this year you've been on, I think?
Yeah, third or fourth, yeah.
Because constantly becoming famous.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on this podcast.
What happened in New York? You get picked up by the Knicks or the Nets? You sitting courtside with Jay-Z, giving the Nets high fives?
No, I wasn't on the podcast yet that month, so I should have went the week before. But yeah, I had a good time in New York. We just got back on Sunday. My first time there. You ever been?
I've been to New York 3 times in my life.
Okay, love it, like it. What's your?
I went to Yankee Stadium. That was awesome.
Okay, yeah, we didn't do that.
You know, Mickey Mantle was one of my favorite baseball players growing up, so that was a pretty cool thing to see.
Yep.
Times Square I thought was overrated. However, one time I did go. This is going to predate you and probably show some people how old I am. So like MTV used to have TLR, and they had MTV Studios up in the corner there, and that was my whole thing. Is I had to go see Carson Daly and TLR.
I know what you're talking about, but it does
TRL. Is it TRL, TLR? I don't know, whatever acronym
Close
it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got Nick Oosting. Oh, I keep mispronouncing your damn name. Nick Oosting. Finally, yes. We're gonna get this right. We're gonna get everyone's names right this year. That's my spring my spring idea.
Yeah.
Spring right into it.
As long as you keep putting me in the paper and put me in ABC 7 News, I don't care what you call me.
I will see what we can do for you. Maybe we'll get you on NBC 5.
Yeah.
Or, I guess you were out of town maybe before, but WGN had their annual St. Patrick's Day broadcast at Bourbon Street.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
I may or may not have been there for a minute. No, I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah.
Got a little Irish in me somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The proper eyes, in my opinion, Italian and Irish.
That was the thing about New York, man. Nobody celebrates St. Patrick's Day over there. Did you know?
Really?
That?
I did not know that.
Like
that
Chicago
is Boston.
Yeah, I guess the Chicago is just a sea of green. It's the whole city. New York, I think we got there on the Friday, and then the Saturday we were kind of walking around, and I didn't even know it was St. Patrick's Day weekend. Nobody
really.
I seen one group of people in a corner around the street, and I said, "Oh yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day weekend." That was it. They're like, "Yeah, they don't really celebrate it up here," so that was kind of different.
I guess it could be. You ever watch Gangs of New York, the movie?
I did not.
All right, so. New York obviously has the melting pot of the United States with Ellis Island, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have all of these immigrants coming to New York and then living in squalor at one point, right? A lot of those being Irish laborers. So maybe that's why they don't do it. Couldn't tell you entirely.
Yeah. No, I think that's what it is. I don't know, but
so they weren't dying the Hudson green or anything over there?
No. There was no green whatsoever. I didn't even bring green, and
did you have
just a regular day in New York.
Did you have any good food there?
We had a lot of good food there. I got to say, the food is really good.
What flavor is Italian?
We had Italian the first night. It was very good. I mean, it's right there with Chicago. It's kind of the same, but it's phenomenal food. The pizza was good. I'll give a good review on the pizza.
Square pizza, usually, right? In New York?
We did have a square, and then we had the big
old slice.
Yes, but that was like 2:30 a.m. pickup. So it was very good at the time. I can't give my best review on it, but it was very good. But yeah, I mean, everything was good there. We had a good time. It was cool. Just a much, different, but just a much bigger Chicago.
It is.
It is.
If you haven't been to New York, it is amazing how big it is.
Yeah.
Like you just look at Manhattan, it's like, all right, that's Chicago. All right, there's several more of these.
Yeah.
So what? Did you hit all 5 boroughs? Where'd you go?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. Our friends took us. I mean, we didn't go to Times Square. We checked that out. Central Park. I mean, we were there for 2 days. We had limited time, but it was lucky our friends live out there, and they could take us in the subway. We can get from point A to point B. I had no idea where
you guys are like real locals there.
Yeah, no, not at all. I couldn't tell you how we got home, how we got there. It was but it was a good time. I mean, it's huge. There's a lot going on there. So,
well, there is like a little suspicious gap in timing here, though, Nick. So you did go to New York.
Yep.
And while you were traversing to New York, we did come down with this the National Association of Realtors settlement here.
I got the emails, I think Saturday, or was it Friday night?
Yeah, Friday to Saturday, and it's like all of a sudden Nick goes off the grid for a minute, and
everything goes.
Is this an inside job? Who do you work for? Yeah,
The whole real estate world turned upside down.
literally the entire real estate world turned upside down. And here's what's crazy. I'm going to break this up to everyone here. It's realistically the status quo.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Don't read, if you're a consumer looking to buy or sell a house, do not read the headlines. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stress it enough. Do not read those headlines. Contact a quality real estate agent. Nick's one of them. With other ones in the area. You know, if you're outside of this area, you can probably research them and find them because they probably already have posts explaining that the headlines and the clickbait are outrageous on this thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's to the point where I had a conversation with my brother-in-law on Sunday, right? And my family, pretty big in mortgage real estate world.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, so this, you know, this standard commission, I was like, it's never been standard commission.
No, it is not.
It's always been a negotiable thing. And the problem that we've ran into is just a lot of lazy vernacular, particularly in Illinois and Indiana. And we were just talking about this before we got on. Two states that have never required buyer broker agency agreements, you know, and we'll talk about that more in depth here as this settlement moves on towards July. But there's 18 states that have required that for over 2 years.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty normal thing.
And you do commercial real estate, and I'm sure that's probably a pretty common thing in commercial real estate.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yep. It's just it hasn't transferred over to the residential side, but yeah.
Various reasons why, but what's going to happen in July, if you're looking to buy houses, probably going to start happening not pretty soon as everyone starts to adapt and listen to this, is a real estate agent is going to have to send you a document called buyer broker agreement, buyer agency agreement, buyer representation, however they want to call it, right?
Yep.
And they're going to have to send it to you before they can show you a house.
Yep. Which should be happening anyway, but
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's just not common in the areas that we're in. But.
Correct. And on this form, that agent is going to explain how they're compensated. Because let's be honest, they work hard. They're putting their butt in the car, driving you around. They're not just opening doors. And I think that's a huge misconception about real estate agents.
Yeah, huge.
They're researching comps. If you're buying a house, they're looking at the marketplace. They're setting up the appointment. They're putting the butt in the car, driving you there, talking you through things, connecting you with quality insurance agents, lenders, attorneys, inspectors. There's a lot that goes on with it. And now they're going to explain it to you up front, whereas you normally would have it explained to you maybe a little bit later on in the process.
Yeah.
It's nothing is actually fundamentally changing, though.
I think it's actually going to make probably your real estate agent work harder for you up front because now you have a buyer agency agreement that, hey, they're agreeing to work with you. You guys are going to work with each other. You know, now you got to kind of prove your worth. You didn't have that before. You were just kind of blindly showing houses to somebody and then not knowing whether they're going to get paid because they might call a random realtor up one day and say, oh, we found this one and we went with them, and now you just wasted 2 months of time running around.
You don't have to answer this question if you don't want to, Nick, but I'm gonna put you on the spot with that a little bit. Okay. Does it get a little frustrating sometimes when you work with a buyer for several months and then all of a sudden they just see some random house pop up for sale and they, for whatever reason, call the listing agent, they show them the house and write the contract, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
like, and understandably so. You don't get paid unless the deal closes.
Yeah. And a lot of times, that's not the bash of the consumer. A lot of times they just don't know kind of how the whole process works.
Correct.
We don't get paid until we close on a house. So we could show you houses for 2 years straight. If you close with a different real estate agent or you close on, or you don't buy or anything, we don't get paid. That's just time that we're basically given.
And it's time, I think, that like you understand, and as a business person, like you are going to have some lost time, some burnout, some transactions that are not successful in closing, but they're successful maybe in you providing professional advice. Hey, maybe now isn't the right time to buy, but when you do come back to the market, we're happy to have that conversation because we don't want you just to buy a house to buy a house.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think that's huge, and you do that a lot as well. I think in your line of work, but if someone's agreeing to work with you, you got a handshake, you got a signed document agreeing to work with you. I think that's going to make people work much harder for you because now they know at the end of it they're going to get.
It's clear, it's defined, and I think that's the biggest thing is like there's this concern about this flipping the world upside down on its head. No, all it's really doing is bringing a clear definition of the relationship to the buyer's agent. The other thing, we'll get into some technical details, and this is all an evolving, whatever you want to call it, situation. This happened over the weekend while Nick was suspiciously in New York. We want to, talk about that. But we're 3 days into a week of guidance that's going to come out about this. One of the other things for sellers, though, and the misconception there is that the NAR model rule or what, in like the early 90s when there was concern about buyer representation, there was this co-op brokerage fee. So a real estate agent would know when they go to bring a buyer to that house, they're going to receive X amount of dollars, more than likely, if the buyer successfully closes on that house, right?
Yeah, like a 2.5% commission minus whatever, or 3%, or whatever the seller's agent was going to pay out to someone who brought the buyer's agent.
And that is still going to exist. It just cannot be advertised. And when we're talking about advertised, we're talking about in the MLS, which is MLS multiple listing service for people that aren't fully aware of what that is. It's a service where real estate agents have access to all of the listings and a private network of listings, right? That's why you should always work with a real estate agent. There might be a house for sale that you don't even know about.
We do it all the time. Yeah, we got a private network. So,
and well, we're on the private network topic real quick. Why would someone want to have their house advertised in the private network?
Sometimes people will do that just to kind of gain a little traction. Maybe it's not ready to fully show yet, but it's a good time in the market, and they want to kind of get it out there for people to see, because realtors have access to it. The public doesn't. It won't show up on Zillow or Truly or anything like that, but we have access to it. We send it off to our clients. It just kind of gains a little bit of momentum maybe before they list, you know what I mean? So
yeah, but they can,
or they, other reasons too. They don't want their house shown on Zillow or Truly or Realtor.com,
they don't want the influx of showings. Like they just want serious buyers only.
Yep.
I think, or sometimes you get someone that might be, their house isn't either ready to fully list yet, or they're in a situation where maybe they're building a house, maybe they're being relocated out of state. And they just want to have that momentum going. So when it does go live, or it sells earlier, right? I think that's one thing. Now that we're going to have this buyer agency agreement situation with buyers, it's a clear value that real estate agents bring to the transaction, particularly for buyers, is access to this private network.
No, absolutely.
But back to listing agent, and I want to sell my house, right? So all of the clickbait headlines are, well, we don't have to pay the buyer's agent commission anymore, or we don't have to have this split anymore. And that's really not the case.
No.
Fundamentally. Like we can't go now and say, hey, I'm putting the co-op commission fee in the MLS so it gets advertised. There's still a situation where you're going to sit down with the seller and say, hey, in order for you to successfully sell this house, it's going to be reasonably expected by a buyer for you as the seller, out of your sale proceeds, to cover a portion of the buyer's commission there via the purchase price, right?
You're still paying the listing office a commission, and then we are, however, the listing side pays out the buyer side. That's what's going to happen. It's just not going to be advertised, I guess.
Yeah, and I again, it's all now it's just a negotiation, right? It's on the buyer side. This is why it is important for a buyer to sign that buyer broker agreement, because you want an agent like Nick to go to work for you. They need to negotiate the sale price. They need to negotiate if there is going to be a co-broker, co-op commission. They need to negotiate concessions for you. So now, instead of just being kind of lumped into one giant document, it's essentially 3 parts. But it's always been 3 parts. It's just 3 now clearly defined parts. Business as usual for the most part.
Same thing.
Just ignore the clickbait. I mean, I saw so many crazy things. Oh, slash the commission. Oh, getting rid of the 6%. But I do want to be very clear on here. In this situation, if you are working with a real estate agent and you have a buyer broker agreement, you do need to communicate that if you're getting a mortgage, it's a conversation you need to have with your lender, because in a situation where there is not going to be listing agent, co-op, or whatever the technical term is there, that could impact your bottom line or your cash out of pocket at closing. Your lender will explain that to you. That's why it's key to work with lenders that aren't just online places that are going to ignore that. They know the local norm, the local customs. Fortunately for us, I've done business in several of the states that have required buyer broker agency agreements for multiple years now. So I'm very familiar with it.
Nothing new to you then.
It is nothing new.
Yep.
Honestly, here, like we're in Illinois, we always, we dog on Wisconsin a little bit. Wisconsin dogs on us. Wisconsin is winning the race on real estate contracts right now.
Really?
They have, as of, I think they rolled out new addendums and some new splits in October of 23, forced compliance January 1st, 2024. Mm-hmm. It is probably one of the cleanest real estate transactions that you could see from a numbers perspective, which the numbers are important. If they're important to a seller, right? Because they want to know what they're going to net.
Yep.
They're important to a buyer because they need to know what they're spending.
Yep. But
they're also important if you're getting a mortgage because we're the ones that are going to be presenting to you as a buyer what you need at closing. Yeah. And how you have to get your file underwritten. So the cleaner and more concise communication, tight communication there, higher probability for success.
Yeah. So it's only going to clean everything up and make everything easier.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah,
nothing's going to change as far as how the everyday business of real estate goes.
It should not really change. Like the only thing I guess that the one key change for a buyer is you are going to have to sign this agreement prior to an agent showing you a house.
And sellers agents are still going to be paying out buyers agents because you need buyers agents in order to bring their buyers in to pay your house. One, because they probably have signed contracts with them that they have to work with them. You know what I mean? That they're working together. So you want to compensate them in some way to actually go and show your house. Otherwise, they're not going to.
That's,
I mean, it's pretty cut and dry, you know? So
it is. So again, another situation here, right? Where media overplays something, overstates something. They want clickbait. There's all these hot takes.
You think it was a big money grab in a way?
I think that there are some behind the scenes things going on that are longer term, fundamentally scary in the world. We look at some of the bigger players that were involved in this, and then who's also Home Services America and all their companies actually are not covered by the settlement. So there's some other funky stuff going on. Yeah. This does, it creates, unfortunately, the media is creating more chaos for first-time home buyers than really needs to be.
Right.
Right. This all did is this made this better. A consumer can now confidently and accurately shop. I've been in the mortgage business a long time.
Yep.
We've gone through know before you owe, Dodd-Frank. We've been through this on the mortgage side of things before, twice pretty much. You know, one with new disclosures, and then two, I mean, the government regulates our compensation and how we're paid as a mortgage person. And they've been doing that since 2015, 2018. Mm-hmm. So they're on it's a little bit different because there's not like a Zillow lender type thing. It's Zillow's got all the real estate info, realtor.com's got all that info. Yep. It is, honest to God, like when I look at it, I'm not a member of NAR, so I can say this. It's kind of ridiculous that your trade association kind of sells you downriver like that. And then puts out a statement that says that they still bring value and make, consumer fundamental rights and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
We could go on for days about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
BlackRock and that whole theory again about eroding ownership of real property by, owner occupied and smaller investors.
Right. Yeah.
Again, but the media is playing right into it. Hey, let's just make it real hard and real scary.
Yeah.
Put all these crazy ads out here.
That's what it is. But like I said, business as usual. It's all normal stuff, just probably cleaner and better for everybody.
That's it. I mean, in other markets, South Carolina, Virginia, Wisconsin, Alaska, Arkansas, those are just a few of the states that I've done business in that already have buyer broker agreements and buyer agency agreements. Yep. And I've worked with a few agents in Illinois that have had them too. And
a lot do them. Yeah.
It's not, like I said, all it is forcing everyone to comply to that.
Yeah.
and as a real estate agent, Nick, you think it's probably not the worst thing in the world.
No, I don't think at all. I think it helps everybody involved, and it just makes it more defined, like you said, partnership or agreement that you're going to be working with each other, you're going to do business with each other, and it's just better. So,
amen. You guys heard it there. It's better. Speaking of better fun things in the spring and Saturdays,
yeah,
we have you and I and Hague Insurance Agency, area-wide
Yes, we
waterproofing. Harris Kuklakis and Gino Finello.
Last name, I think.
Yeah, Kuklakis. I don't know.
Kuklakis, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. This is the third time I've messed it up for him.
We'll get there.
We
You've
have
messed up my name for what, 4 months now?
Yeah, that's all right. Well, the double O throws me off.
I know.
I should know. I went to a Dutch Reformed college.
Yep.
But yeah, we have an event at Pentatonic and Beecher.
Yep.
I know that Abby is probably listening to John Mayer right now and concerned about some stuff. But hey, Sabrina, can you maybe
you do have the Easter eggs, right?
Yeah, can you maybe deliver one of these Easter eggs over here real quick so we can show?
You show Abby. She was going to call in and make sure that you had all your stuff ready. So Abby does not have to call in. There you go. You want to show her?
We have one of these, Abby. We actually have a lot of them.
Working on them now.
I think we got some cool swag in here too. Maybe a little coffees for closer type mug. You know,
there you go.
Dial them up.
Yeah.
This event, Pentatonic and Beecher. Don't pitch your finger.
There, huh?
Yeah, we only have just enough. So Pentatonic and Beecher is what, 523?
643.
Oh, I was way off.
Dixie Highway. But you can look it up as Pin and Tonic and Beecher. It's a bowling alley, so it's a very clever name, Pin and Tonic. We're gonna have the Easter Bunny event, so it's gonna be basically like Meet the Easter Bunny, but it's gonna be more than that. I mean, it's a cool venue. We're gonna have drinks, sandwiches. It's gonna be open bowling, so it's free bowling. Bring your kids; they're gonna love that. Adults, they want to bowl. They do have arcade area downstairs in the basement, so it's gonna be kind of a cool hangout and just have fun. That's what we want. So
that's at the end of the day, have fun, spend some time with me, with Nick.
Yeah,
Adam will be there. Larry from Area Wide, Gino Finello will be there from Landscaping Company. Harris will be there. Well, he may or may not be there. He might actually be a character there. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll have to draw some straws on
the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, nose goes.
Yeah. But no, it'll be a good time. I'm excited for it. We hope to see everybody there, but you do have to RSVP so we can kind of keep the numbers. We know who's all coming. So how you can do that is you can either give me a call or email us at oostinggroup@gmail.com and we can set up the RSVP for you. Or you can go ahead. There's flyers all over our Facebook. We're going to continue to share them as the event comes out. You can scan the QR code and go ahead and just sign up.
So the Oosting Group, OOSTING group, like you normally spell group.
At gmail.com. So you can email us. We can set that up for you. Otherwise, you can go on our Facebook. I know Tony shared it. I shared it. Realtor Nick Oosting. You can look that up and it'll be right there. You can scan the QR code and just set up your RSVP and we'll see you there.
It's a fun event.
Yeah.
Pictures with the Easter Bunny, bowling.
Laid back, plenty of activities. Drinks. Oh, cookie decorating as well for the kids. We forgot about to mention that.
How about cookie eating for the adults?
Oh.
You don't get this physique by not being.
Yeah. That's what you're excited for, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, as I've frequently said, without cookies, I'm just a monster.
Oh, that's good.
We'll have that event. That's this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll push out some more of the QR code and the invites for that.
This is an invite for everybody. Everybody wants you to come out. Just scan the QR code RSVP, but we want you to come out. It's gonna be a good time. It's a good venue. We had a pie day not too long ago, last November at the same venue, and we gave out over 200 pies. So we can hold a lot of people. It'll be good. Like you said, we'll have drinks, snacks, bowling, cookie decorating, and a lot going on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's not like some type of vendor fair or anything like that. Now, if you do have questions about the NAR settlement, what real estate's looking like, interest rates, your budget, do you have questions for an attorney about real estate? Do you have questions about waterproofing? Do you have questions about insurance? Do you have questions about how much it would cost to have Gino cut your lawn? You get all those questions answered there, but that's not, we're doing this for fun.
Yeah.
Come, don't be shy. Don't be bashful about it. Don't think it's some walking in and we're going to take all your information and just bombard you with things.
No, we're not going to hand you with cards and try to introduce you to us. It's literally meet the Easter Bunny, hang out with us, have some drinks, bowl a little bit, you know.
Watch us try to not pick up 7-10 splits.
Also, there will be we got March Madness starting this week too.
Oh,
So that will be on the TVs there. So why not? You know,
Oh,
Saturday
got some
afternoon.
hoops.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's some sports betting going on there. Some good times. They got plenty of TVs in there, so we'll have that going on all at the same time.
How good of a bowler are you, Nick?
I used to be a really good bowler. I actually was part of a team when I was very young. In fourth grade, we won state.
Really?
Yep. Recently, though, as people saw in the last time I was there, I'm not so good anymore. But it's been a long time.
That's don't
I
sweat.
might try another Facebook Live, see what I could do.
All right,
a couple gutter balls
maybe,
last time.
Yeah, how about that? Maybe we'll do a little Rusty Putter remote broadcast. So you guys want to hop on,
There you go.
follow Nick's shoes, they get articles written about you, end up on ABC7 and all that stuff. Or if you just want sheer comic relief,
We can do that for you.
watch me bowl.
You want to do that? You want to do a Facebook Live and throw one down the lane with me?
I'll try. No promises. I am such a bad bowler. All right.
Uh-huh.
My dad, my grandpa, most of my family pretty good. My dad's brother, a couple 300 games. When I was probably like 13 or 14 years old, he just looked at me deadpan and just goes, "I don't know if you're my son."
Yeah. Disappointed.
Yeah, he runs like a lower 200 average. I could maybe break 100 with bumpers. I always mention get like this spin off on that little hit, catch a 7 or 10 in the corner
You
there.
purposely hit the bumpers, right?
All right, Nick, how do people get in touch with you? We talked about Oosting Group at gmail.com. Phone number?
Realtor Nick Oosting on Facebook. But yes, you can call us, text us anytime. My number is 630-284-9624. That's how you get a hold of me at any time.
All right, you guys can reach me. You guys all know I'm also 630-284, but 9729.
Mm-hmm.
Apply with jr.com. We hope to see you guys on Saturday. Business as usual, though, in the real estate market. Do not let that clickbait get you. Have a conversation with a competent professional. They will put your mind at ease. And another plug for an event. We do have Happy Gilmore April 4th at the Imagine Theaters in Frankfurt. We have RSVPs for that, too.
Happy Gilmore on the big screen, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I had to twist some arms to get that one on there,
Yeah.
but that'll be leading up to the week before the Masters there. So get your little golf fix in. Come hang out with everyone. You guys should have got the invite. I didn't see on the RSVP list yet. Damn it. But we'll
Happy Gilmore is a classic. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I believe that ball belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why won't you buy a home?
Yeah. Go to your home.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Thank you.